they get into, this constant criticism, extreme criticism. They get into this, brutal criticism, or you can say they criticize vehemently. I mean, when it comes to their children, they don't spare them. And this is basically to, erode their children's self-worth, confidence, self-esteem. And when these things are, misplaced, when these things are, not there, the child is going to be dependent on the mother. Yeah, because he or she will have this strong belief that something is wrong with me. I can never do things right. So let me refer, or let me, seek advice or counsel of my mother. I mean, narcissistic mother. And that's how these mothers, get to pull the strings. That's how these mothers, keep manipulating, keep exploiting, and keep abusing their children. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about, powerful reasons why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So narcissistic mothers are not mothers. Yeah, let us not, abuse the word mother. Mothers are, amazing, but these narcissistic women who choose to become mother are just, individuals who want to monetize, who want to, use their procreation ability. That's it. They are, not mothers. They are just egg donors, and, narcissistic parents are just egg donors, sperm donors, and, they are just there to harvest supply. Yeah, healthy parents, love you unconditionally. Healthy parents do the best they can for you. Yeah, healthy parents are not into controlling your life. Healthy parents are not into manipulating you, guilt tripping you, and criticizing you. But these narcissistic parents, especially the narcissistic mothers, they are, big time manipulators. They are big time into gaslighting. They really stunt your growth. Yeah, healthy mothers nurture you. Yeah, they help you grow, evolve, and become your authentic self. Narcissistic mothers stunt your growth, and they, just groom you to be a loyal, dedicated, devoted slave, or, for them. So, these narcissistic women who choose to become mothers, are not, mothers. They are just, you can say, someone who's using their abilities to harvest supply, maybe financial gain, social reasons, validation, admiration, appreciation. That's it. So, it's better that, we refer them as narcissistic women, as narcissistic mothers, rather than referring them as mothers. Yeah, I mean, it's quite, insulting to, address them as mothers. They are not mothers. They are not fit to be mothers because they are designed differently. So, what are the reasons, that makes these narcissistic mothers, narcissistic women, Jezebel from hell? So before we dive deeper, first let us understand what Jezebel means. Jezebel means, immoral women who are ready to do anything to, get what they want. Yeah, and that's who these narcissistic women are. That's who these narcissistic mothers are. They're ready to do anything, deceive, lie, shapeshift, manipulate you, emotionally blackmail you, guilt trip you, shame you. They are ready to do anything to harvest what they want out of you. Yeah, and they really don't care. How their action is impacting you, or how their action is affecting you. It's all about them. That's it. Yeah. So coming to, the different reasons why narcissistic mothers are, Jezebel from hell. The first reason is, because these women, these mothers are, obsessed with control. Yeah, they are, all about controlling things around them, their supply sources, their children, their husband, their spouse. I mean, everyone that comes in contact with them is controlled by them. Yeah. And she loves controlling them. She's crazy about controlling anything and everything around her. Yeah. So these narcissistic mothers demand complete control over every aspect of their child's life. Yeah. From what the child is, from what the child does, what career path he or she chooses, who he or she decides to get married to, when he or she is wanting to have children. She is going to micromanage, she is going to control and decide every aspect of the child's life. And this simply makes uh, things difficult for the child. He or she is not allowed to access his or her autonomy. He or she doesn't have, control over his or her life. Yeah, it's all about the mother. Yeah, what she wants, I have to do. What she, wants me to do, I better do it that way, or else, bad things are going to happen to me. Love and affection will be withheld, silent treatment, triangulation, all the bad stuff's gonna happen. So the child is conditioned and trained to perform and be the narcissistic mother's puppet. Yeah. So it becomes very difficult for the child to escape from this kind of a system. Yeah, because she has a lot of tricks up her sleeve, and her entire ecosystem is there to support her, whitewash her mistakes, and gaslight you. So it becomes really difficult. Yeah. So, the first reason why narcissistic mothers are, Jezebels from hell is because of this obsessive control. She's crazy about controlling anything and everything. And yes, I mean, in this case, the child. The second reason why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell is because of this relentless manipulation. So, narcissistic mothers are big time into using guilt and shame as weapons, and they keep their children emotionally shackled and obedient. They don't want their kids to grow in a healthy manner. And how do they stunt the kids growth? How do they stop the kid from growing and developing in a healthy way? By constantly shaming, by guilt tripping. Yeah. And that's how these narcissistic mothers make their children feel obligated towards her. Yeah, the children is not allowed to experience or feel any kind of freedom. Yeah, he or she is chained, emotionally chained to this Jezebel, the narcissistic mother. The other reason why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell is because of this chronic criticism. So narcissistic mothers are constantly undermining their children's self-worth. And what this does is that it erodes the kid's confidence, and it makes the child doubt his or her own worth and value. And that's how they keep the children on hook. Yeah, I mean, if you are validated, if you are motivated, if you are encouraged, and if you are given a healthy environment, you are going to bloom, you are going to thrive, you are going to flourish. But that's not something what narcissistic mothers want. Yeah, for their children, they want their children to be emotionally crippled. They want their children to be dependent on them for validation, for anything and everything. So they get into this constant criticism, extreme criticism. They get into this brutal criticism, or you can say they criticize vehemently. I mean, when it comes to their children, they don't spare them. And this is basically to erode their children's self-worth, confidence, self-esteem. And when these things are misplaced, when these things are not there, the child is going to be dependent on the mother. Yeah, because he or she will have this strong belief that something is wrong with me, I can never do things right, so let me refer or let me seek advice or counsel of my mother, I mean narcissistic mother. And that's how these mothers get to pull the strings. That's how these mothers keep manipulating, keep exploiting, and keep abusing their children. The other reason why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell is because of, boundary violations. So narcissistic mothers don't respect, their children's boundaries. Yeah. And this is because of extreme sense of entitlement, inability to self-reflect, lack of empathy, extreme hunger and craving for attention, admiration. All of this makes her a very, ruthless individual. Yeah, she just doesn't care, about your feeling, your emotion. And she keeps running over all the boundaries that you put up. Yeah, there is nothing called boundary in narcissistic homes, narcissistic families. So these narcissistic mothers dismiss, personal boundaries, asserting ownership over their children's thoughts, feelings, and choices. So, as a result of which, the kids are, unable to use boundaries, in any other aspect of their life. Yeah. They believe that it's not a good thing, because every time they tried upholding boundary, they were labeled and shamed as selfish, mean, ungrateful, and as a result of which they started believing that boundary is bad thing. Yeah, in relationship, in family, um, there is no room for boundaries. Yeah, it should be all open, and I should be, like an open book. Yeah. Because if I uphold boundary, if I demand privacy and space, I'll be seen as a bad person. Yeah. And this is because of this narcissistic mother's constant conditioning and brainwashing. Yeah. Because of which the kids start believing that boundary is a bad thing. I need to be 100% open, I need to be 100% available, and that's how I will get love, that's how I will be seen and heard, I'll get some affection, and that's how I'll be relevant. Yeah, if I uphold boundaries, I'll lose a lot of connection and relationship. And this understanding does hurt and impact the kids adult life as well. Yeah. So yes, I mean, narcissistic mothers are big time into boundary violation, and that actually makes them Jezebels from hell. Yeah, because these Jezebels are ruthless, they are ready to do anything and everything to get what they want. Yeah, and in that process they are okay to violate boundaries. Yeah, because it's all about them, it's all about what they need, it's all about what they require, what they crave, what they desire. The other reason why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell is because these narcissistic mothers are very jealous, and you can see them having this rivalry with their own children. Yeah, and this is something which is unacceptable, this is something which is abnormal. A healthy mother is not jealous of her children, a healthy mother is not into this competition with her children. No, a healthy mother feels good when the child grows, evolves, when the child does things better than her. She feels good that this is a better version of me. Yeah, I mean, he does things better, she does things better, she's more talented, she's expert, and he or she is able to do things better. Yeah, so she feels good. But with these narcissistic mothers, they feel envious, they feel jealous, they see their children as a rival. Yeah, and they do a lot of nasty things. Yeah, because they see their own children as competition. So these narcissistic mothers, these Jezebels from hell, rather than nurturing, they compete with their own children. Yeah, and this is because they see their kids as threats to their status. Yeah, so if my kid is better than me, then I might be replaced. Yeah, and my intention, my goal is to be irreplaceable. My goal is to be the center of attention. My goal is to be the only one. My goal is to be the king or the queen, in my family. Yeah, I cannot be replaced by my daughter. I cannot be replaced by my son. Yeah, so these narcissistic mothers, see, their kids' growth, their kids' talent, their kids' beauty, their kids', good work, as a kind of a, competition. Yeah. And because of that they feel jealous. I mean, she's better than me, she is able to cook better than me. um I mean, people might like what she cooks, and I might lose my charm, I might lose all that attention and admiration. So what do? I need to gaslight my child, yeah, that your cooking is not good, your this work is not good, your that work is not good. And that's how I'm going to, keep the child in that doubtful state. And the child is never going to succeed. The child is constantly going to doubt his or her capabilities, his or her, work performance. And I get to be, the showstopper, I get to be, always in the limelight, and he or she is always confused. Yeah, so these narcissistic mothers are not mothers, they are Jezebels. And they will do anything and everything to, get what they want, even if they have to sacrifice their children, even if they have to torment, abuse, or exploit their own, blood, their own children. And the last reason why narcissistic mothers are Jezebels from hell is because of emotional drain. So these narcissistic mothers drain their children emotionally, making them feel responsible for their mother's happiness at the cost of their own well being. Yeah, so these Jezebels, these narcissistic mothers are big time into manipulating, guilt tripping, yeah, creating, or you can say rewriting false history, family history, and, projecting themselves as the victim, martyr, hero, and, they keep manipulating the child, yeah, and the kids, over a period of times, they start believing that it's their duty to make their mother happy, it's their duty to alleviate her pain, it's their duty to do things for her. Yeah, and this is because of that aggressive manipulation, gaslighting, yeah, from an early age. Yeah, the kid is not exposed to healthy stuff. The kid is exposed to manipulation and gaslighting from an early age, and as a result of which, the kids are not focused, on being their authentic self. The kids are not focused on their own self or their needs, wants, and requirement, because every time they expressed their needs, wants, and requirement, they were shamed, they were labeled as mean and selfish. And with time they stopped prioritizing themselves, and they started prioritizing the narcissistic mother. Yeah, all those sad sob stories, your father did this, your grandma did this, you have got no idea, I did this work and that work to bring food on the table, I spent sleepless nights, I suffered this much just for the sake of you, I stayed in toxic relationship just for the sake of you. And all those rewritten histories, lies, the false facade that they build, all those manipulation, basically stunts the child's growth. The child is unable to think about himself or herself. Instead, he or she is focused on the mother from an early age. His or her, I mean, the child's, goal is basically to please the mother, to make the mother happy, and that's it. Yeah. So, these were, some of the powerful reasons why narcissistic mothers are not mothers, but, they are Jezebels from hell. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.